Welcome to Amy's Bookshelf Reviews podcast. It is a spin-off of the website and book review site of Amy's Bookshelf Reviews. Amy's Bookshelf Reviews podcast is about book reviews, a writer's muse, a book's peruse, author interviews, and literary news. Welcome to the new year, where new things may happen with this. I hope you all enjoy, and thank you for listening.
Good evening, listeners. I'm Amy, and welcome to Amy's Bookshelf Reviews podcast. Today, we are joined by an author. Please introduce yourself and let the audience know how they can connect with you.
Hello out there. My name is Jan Notzon, and that's all lowercase. Jan Notzon, JANNOTZON.com. And you can catch me on Instagram, on Facebook. I'm at Jan Notzon, facebook.com/Jan Notzon and Jan Notzon author. I would love to hear from you and love to answer any of your questions you might have.
So we're going to talk about Sing Like a Mockingbird today?
Yes, we are talking about To Sing Like a Mockingbird, which is my most recent, my 7th published novel.
So what actually inspired you to write this particular book?
Well, I had written a play, and the play was probably not producible. I mean, it was basically a rewrite of Long Day's Journey into Night, which is, not something that would be producible. But as a novel, I think it works quite well. I wrote it in acts and scenes because it was taken from the play, but it is in novel form. And what inspired me? Well, life. Gosh, Amy, things with my family, problems there, my problems with my youthful idealism, which, I've gone finally through Weltschmerz and realized that my ideals are not realizable in this fallen world. And that pretty much sums up what prompted me to write this novel.
Yeah, it is quite disconcerting when, you get to a point in your life and your outlook, every time you hit another decade, your outlook changes. Mm-hmm. But, life gets in the way, and then you're right, we are in a broken world, and I think it's more broken than it has been in a very long time.
I agree. I don't know how much longer we can exist as a country the way it is right now.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It's, me, I'm not, I keep my politics and religion and certain things close to the vest because I just know that, I've seen it, people's perspective, where they used to have lively debates. Now they just want to kill each other if they don't agree with each other.
Yes.
And, my grandmother, she died in 2022. She died at 101 years old. And she only died because she fell. At that time, she fell and she was laying on the floor for too long and she passed away.
Oh,
friend. But when we used to talk, and she was the only one that I could really be open with. And she said that in all of her years, she had never seen, she lived through wars and depression and, various presidents throughout the world or throughout the her lifetime, and she had never seen something um, like what is going on. It's like
Yeah.
we try to come so far, and they're trying to say, make the world great again, but I just want to make the world better,
Yes.
better than it's ever been.
And I think that's exactly the right attitude, because there is, as Thomas Sowell has said, there are no solutions. There are only trade-offs. There are better trade-offs than others, but every decision you make, personal up to the international, has benefits and costs, and you have to weigh them.
That's true. It's like raising children. I
Mm-hmm.
learned to pick my battles.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
I
Yeah.
raised three boys on my own, and I mean, I have four
Wow.
sons, but I raised three boys on my own. They've grown up to be wonderful young men, but through
That's
it wasn't always, rainbows and sunshine. But I did learn to pick my battles, and I've heard it, people, oh, you spoiled them. I'm like, no, I just know there's worse things that could happen than me saying yes to something.
Yeah, there you go. There you
So, but I would love to, if you have an excerpt ready, I would love to hear that.
Sure. This is chapter 1, actually, and it starts with a chorus. Is it in reality the drive to perfect this life that is the most destructive impulse in this all too imperfectible universe? While some achieve the Weltschmerz to realize that the dreams of their youth were in fact quite dangerous delusions, there are always those still caught in their idealistic cocoons, those who chide their fellows that it is dreams that change the world. It is exactly at that precise moment that one must remind oneself that Hitler had a dream, Stalin had a dream, Mao Zedong had a dream, and that the result of those dreams was the barbaric slaughter of perhaps over 100 million innocent souls. Come in, ye who seek refuge from the fearsome, pitiless dog-day heat of the naked desert sun, Nick declaims as he enters the Kopechny ancestral home and turns to his younger brother Justin, who follows. The contrast between the two couldn't be starker. With his broad, squared shoulders and mesomorphic chest, Nick's black hair and sharp features scream of masculinity. Having left work early to rescue his brother, he arrives in a charcoal gray three-piece suit, his sensible burgundy tie just a tad loosened at the collar. Justin, meanwhile, sports a slender, if athletic build. The wrinkles and billowing of his shirt at the waist betray a carelessness about his dress. Though the glasses he wears give him the look of an intellectual, they cannot hide his soft, bewitching doe eyes with lashes so long that they scrape against the lenses. That characteristic gentility is, however, moderated by a considerable pugnaciousness when it comes to ideology. His handsome features and ample dark brown hair also serve as a compensatory influence. Cheer up, lad, Nick reacts to his brother's cloudy demeanor. There's libation in the fridge, stronger spirits in this little hideaway, he continues as he taps his rather large liquor cabinet. Best of all, there's escape from the merciless summer swelter, courtesy of the modern miracle of climate control, known in the vernacular as air conditioning, and contributing all the while to the monstrous heat, Justin notes. Nick adopts a posture of feigned offense. Cynic, we should say a prayer. Forgive us, O great deity of the thermostat. What did it be, you refugee from the torturous bonds of pedagogy? Justin shrugs as he sits at the wrought iron kitchen table with a glass top. Whatever you're having. The best 25-year-old single malt you'll ever taste. Nick, that stuff is wasted on me. I never get past Schaefer beer. And isn't it kind of early in the day for... Tush! There's a treacle of insistence in the way Nick cuts his brother off. He loses not a step in his preparation and drinks for the two of them. This is a holiday. We're celebrating your liberation from the evils of public education, that dark, disgusting form of institutional slavery invented, or at least perverted, by the demented minds of knee-jerk idealists. Making his way back to Justin with a treasured aquavita, he continues, congratulations. Having rescued you, I consider myself an abolitionist of sorts. An involuntary laugh escapes Justin. Nay, laugh not, lad. Heroes come in all shapes, sizes, and ideologies. As Nick hands him his drink, Justin says with a particular emphasis, you are a hero, Nick. That's the spirit, lad. It was a feat of true valor pulling you out of that snake pit. That's not what I meant. I was referring to, again, Nick cuts his little brother off with a touch of haste as he sits opposite him. Yeah, well, it's not my job to interpret your cryptic references to God knows what. To preempt Justin's returning to the subject, he diverts him with a question. Well, how's it feel to be back in the old homestead? Justin thinks for a moment, perhaps sensing something beneath the humorous bravado that his elder brother exhibits, but far from being able to label it in any way. Like Christmas. Christmas? It's 108 outside. That's degrees. Celsius, probably. Possibly Kelvin. How's that?
That's perfect. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Oh, great. Well, I was an actor in a former life, so this comes naturally.
Well, it certainly does. You really brought it to life, I'll tell you.
Well, thank you.
So, with that read, and let's see. So you said you wrote. So this is your 7th book, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
When did you start writing?
I started writing, I think the first thing I wrote was a one-act play that was in 1987, 88. I was getting my MFA in theater from the University of South Carolina. And this, actually a very young actress, first year, actually, she came to me and said, I want you to write a docudrama for me and Deborah. And, she was very religious. And at the time I was an atheist. And so I wondered what I would write. And that one-act play came out of it. I called it rather pretentiously Eli Eli lama sabachthani, which is, what Christ says on the cross when, my God, why have you forsaken me? I changed that to A Voice in the Wilderness. And actually, that became my 4th novel.
Oh.
I turned that into my 4th novel, but I had to change the name because that title was taken. So I changed it to, what did I change it to? Not A Voice in the Wilderness, Song for the Forsaken.
Oh, yes, definitely, yeah. So, do you think it's easier to turn a play into a novel or vice versa? Or have you tried the other part?
I haven't done the other part. What I find, plays are a little bit more restrictive.
Yeah.
It's all dialogue. You don't have narrative.
And you have
Uh,
to tell like every little detail of what they're doing.
yeah, you do. Although, being the method actor that I was, and I tell the actors, you're going to know this character better than I by the time you do it on stage.
Right.
Um, and they say, no, I never could. Just wait. Uh, but but novel writing is freer. I can use description. I can use my vocabulary, although I have to be careful with that because when I wrote my first novel, The Dog's Barking, I tried too hard to make it, to use all kinds of fancy vocabulary, and people objected to it. So I rewrote it.
Yeah, that happens. I remember I was the kid that I've been writing all my life, but I was the kid that would read the dictionary just because I wanted to improve my vocabulary.
That's wonderful.
And it was actually actually a book that I held in my hand, and I read through it. And when I
Wow.
would write, I would use these great descriptive words. And at first, my teachers thought I was using big words to impress them. But once they realized that what I wrote, it made sense, the words were correct, and it was just the way that I wrote, then they, realized that, no, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to write my story.
Yeah, there you go.
You can be impressed later.
Yeah, right.
Hey, so
I found that I had to pull back. As a matter of fact, even with the id paradox, my third novel,
yeah.
One reader said, why did you go to such lengths with your descriptors? I found it, she said she found it distracting. And so I apologized and said, I do tend to get carried away. I really enjoy, making the scene as full and complete as I possibly can.
I do that with my stories. Like just when I talk to my kids, like I give more details. And I do that in my stories as well, or whatever I'm writing. I tend to be long-winded, but I want to be, I don't know, just be able to tell the story the way I want to tell a story.
There you go.
Whether it's a memory or just the story off the top of my head.
Yeah, I get you. I don't have any children to tell stories to, so it was. It's funny. There is no high like the feeling when, as an actor, a scene takes on a life of its own. It is just such a flood of endorphins. But then, it comes and goes. And, when you don't have a project to work on, you're like, well, what do I do with myself?
Right.
Writing, you can do all the time. Sometimes I've written myself into a corner, and writing myself out of it gives me a little taste of endorphins. It's a nice feeling.
It is fun when I write and then I have to walk away. I always write at least the first line of the next chapter. And when I sit down, because I never know, only one time did I ever know how the book was going to end. I let my characters lead me through it. And I don't, when I'm writing the first draft, I don't go back and read what I wrote unless I put it away, and started working on something else and then came back to it. That's the only time, but I just want it to, it's different now. I have to write short stories, being disabled and having trouble writing out the novels, but I like meeting authors and helping them and letting them share their work with me.
You are a treasure.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I love doing what I'm doing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm going to do it as long as my body will let me.
There you go. Well, I do it a little differently. I tend to go back over what I most often do is take a spiral notebook. Usually on the left-hand side are notes about where I might take the story, where the characters are leading me, thematic elements, a little bit of dialogue or something like that. And then the right-hand side is the narrative and dialogue. Although that varies. Sometimes I'll write a few notes on the left hand, and then all of a sudden I'll have a lot of narrative come out of that.
Yeah.
But I tend to go back. As a matter of fact, the one I'm writing now is the first one that I know the ending of already. And I'm about, I'd say, 2/3 of the way through it. I have another one waiting in the wings. I want to promote To Sing Like a Mockingbird before I publish another one. And then
you have them so they're at least published ready, and you don't have it, you can like you have before, just when they're ready to be read, send them to me, and then once you have a release date, I can post my review on that. And when you have other books to promote, you'll be coming back.
All right. That's one thing I need to learn to do is a release date and pre propaganda or whatever you call it.
Yeah. And if you ever have any questions about that, you can just ask, because I know how to do a lot of things for free. And I also know how to do stuff and I do some work for like promotions and things like that. And I always work within an author's budget, but I always give more than what the actual, like the value of it is. And I always work within an author's budget. Some can afford more than others. So with my promotions, I have a minimum price and I have a regular price.
Okay. Well, I intend to take advantage of that. With your knowledge of the business, I want you in my corner.
Well, I am in your corner, and I always will be. So, and anytime, like I said, if you have any questions or you just need help with anything, you can always call me.
Great.
I must say that I really enjoyed Sing Like a Mockingbird. I've read up your other books as well. So I I I like the way that you write and how you show a story. There are storytellers, and me, I think about that there are story showers, and some people don't quite get it, but if you're reading it and you can see the story, it's not just telling you what's going on, but you can almost feel it, and you can picture it in your head, and you can just imagine what the author was thinking. But I could also feel the passion off the pages. And I read hundreds of books a year, and I can tell when an author has written just because, and they wanted to make sure everything was technically correct, like perfect grammar, perfect spelling, and the story didn't do anything. It was like one dimension. And then there's stories that, they just come out of, it's just passion, and it shows how you write. And every story that you write, you become better at showing your story. You improve, even if you don't realize it. You also realize you could look at, like, I have a little notebook I keep of my own personal overused words, because when I it's like there's certain words that I always put in when I'm just typing along. It's usually I know or I understand, and you don't really need that in your story. So I am aware of my overused words. So when I do my self editing at first, those are the first things that I look for, those words, and see, is it necessarily, or the word just, I use that a lot and try to get rid of it. But I think it's important I'm a lifelong learner, and I learn a lot every time I read another author's work. And I love it when authors repeatedly send me their work, because it shows me insight of that author. And some readers don't look at it that way. I look at the book as not just a reader, but a writer, and trying to understand, the the words, or the author behind the words. So it's one of those things that I just absolutely am so grateful that people can send me their books. And actually, I did. And I forgot to email you, but I got your book in the mail. I just haven't opened it yet. I have a pile of books that I still have to open, but I am getting through it.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you get a lot.
I do. And I like that I do, because, it's more personable. And I have people sending me books after I've reviewed them, and I have people send me books before, and I just love it. And I get these stacks, and my sons bring me the mail, and here I go. I'm like, okay, I'll get to them. I promise. All I have to do is open them. But I really appreciate every author in the author community, and I'm so glad to finally talk to you, finally meet you.
Yeah, it's great.
It's amazing, this technology these days.
Yeah, it is amazing.
I still shake my head at it, and I'm only 52 something. But yeah, I love reading your work, and
Thank you so much.
it's an honor every time you're like, hey, will you read my book? And I'm like, oh, yes.
Well, it is an honor to be read by you, Amy.
Well, thank you so much. And we'll wrap up here. And I want to thank you, Jan, for being on the show. And I will definitely have you back.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. If you wish for you or your book to be on the show, go to amysbookshelfreviews.com/podcast. Thank you for listening. Be safe, be well, and always be kind.
Thank you for listening to Amy's Bookshelf Reviews. If you are looking to be on the podcast or looking for a book review, you can go to amysbookshelfreviews.com and look for the appropriate navigational menu. Again, thank you all for listening and being a supporter of this podcast and of the Amy's Bookshelf Reviews professional reviewers of books and audiobooks. Thank you all. Be safe and be well.